Hello and welcome to Bahrain Grand Prix. Today we have the qualifying session. Today is a day we find out what the drivers can do, and as you can see, the drivers have already been out somewhat and set some times, and I believe we have our top three right now. We have Callum, then we have Charlie, and then we have Harry, who is currently on a timed lap, so we can see if he can get pole position, or will Callum keep that pole position? Who knows? But as you can see, we have Callum out on Williams. We have Charlie with Red Bull, of course, in second place, and with Harry with also Red Bull. So you have a Red Bull P2, P3, but Harry could not get the job done, unfortunately, and Callum keeps P1 here at Bahrain. This will be a very interesting race today, but who knows? Who knows? Here we also have Ritvik in P4, currently doing his lap now. Can he get in the top three, or maybe even pole position? Who knows? And then we also have Jamie in the other Mercedes, currently on his time lap as well. And it's going very interesting today. Very interesting indeed. We don't see any signs of Preston. Well, we do actually in P7. He's currently not out right now. He's in the pit, so not a great start from Preston. However, the race, I believe he could do much better. I believe he could really bring that competition, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I see Charlie coming back out now for another go at it. We have only got about a few minutes left here on qualifying, so it's really a last-ditch effort, I believe, to get P1 here at Bahrain, but who knows? We still have Callum holding that pole position. Jamie is now coming into pits as well. We have Ritvik still going for another lap, in fact. What's his lap time? Still P4, unfortunately. Still P4. That is fine, because, you know, even people who start lower down can win. It's just, you never know, do you? And then we have here, of course, who else? We have Harry coming out for his lap. One more lap, I'm guessing, for time. We are here with 3 minutes left in the session. Can anyone beat Callum's time, or will Callum hold that pole position? That is the interesting talk. Here we go with Ritvik, still out. He's got a yellow flag on sector 1. Interesting. Here we go with Charlie. He's done on his outlap. And can he get that pole position? Although Callum has come back out again in the Williams to see if he can improve his time and make sure he holds that pole position going in to the Bahrain Grand Prix. What's it? He's stopping. What's gone on there? No fault, no engine thing, no tyre wear. Not that we know of. Very confusing here. But he's back on the race. He's still going strong. But this is luckily his outlap, so that won't affect his time in any way. Who knows? Oh, yellow sector 2 here for Callum. Interesting, very interesting. He's slowly he's letting the competition pass. Of course, that makes more sense. I should have seen that really. It was Jamie who Callum let past, of course. I was being a bit... I don't know why I didn't see that first. But yes, Jamie has now been let past by Callum. Very good sportsmanship, if I do say so myself. Ritvik coming into the pits finally after some amazing times. Still P4 though, but that's not all that bad. That is not all that bad. Preston is also now on a time lap. So let's see if he can beat Callum to the pole position, or can he even get in top 3? Who knows? Who knows indeed. There we go with Ritvik. Is he coming back out? I believe so. No, he's pitted, and Jamie goes round the corner. Can he beat I believe someone just let him past. I'm not sure who that. Oh, it was Charlie. He's off the track. Was that meant to let Jamie pass? Because he's still on a time lapse, so that's, I don't know exactly, but here we have a yellow sector 1 with Charlie. We have Harry closing in on Charlie. Will Charlie let Harry pass? Will there be that teammate rivalry we all know can exist? Here we go with a yellow sector 1 for Harry. Yeah, I remind you, yellow sectors are not that great. You want the purple sectors, not the yellow sectors. Here we go with Ritvik coming back out again. Straight in, straight back out. No rest for Wicked. Which is very interesting. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that, people, is qualifying complete. They will finish their laps. And then, that will be everything. Who will get that P1 though? Will Callum hold it by the end of the session? That is the question. Here we go with the 2 Red Bulls. Harry can't get the overtake for some reason. Is he trying to, or is Charlie holding him up? This is there's a bit of a battle going on here. What is going on? 5-place grid penalty for Mazepin as well. Illegal blocking. Very interesting indeed. Here we go with Harry. He's just finished his qualifying here. Who's left to finish now? We have a few more cars left to finish. And I believe, oh, Mazepin, another 5-grid penalty collision with Alonso here. And I believe Alonso's been taken out of the session. But here we go with Preston, now with P6 in fact, on his final lap. And we are finishing up here. He is deciding to pit, which is fair enough. But I believe that is qualifying. And here is your top 3. We have Callum, Harry, and then Charlie, of course, with, of course, in P4, Ritvik, P5, Jamie, and P6, Preston. Can we see Preston get some redemption in the race? Or will he not be able to compete with the competition in the Bahrain? Stay tuned, people. We'll be back with you in a couple minutes. Hello everybody and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Here we go, lights out, and away we are with Callum in front in P1, but can someone get the overtake? Harry nearly gets the overtake on turn 1, but Callum just gets it back. Here we are with a 0.3 second gap. Can Callum grow that gap? It seems to be growing a tiny bit, but now Ritvik is up to P2 with also Preston up to P5, overtaking on Jamie. That is very interesting indeed. Here we go. Shall we switch? See what people are up to. Here we go into turn 2 or 3. I'm not sure exactly, you know. Here we are with Jamie at the back. Can he gain some time? Can he gain that needed pace to catch up to Charlie here? It seems to be no DRS, of course, yet. Not until at least lap 2 or 3. Here we go with Preston up to P4. He really does need to catch up, either with Ritvik or Harry. Ritvik now claims back to P2, in fact, as well. But Harry is on the attack. But then again, Harry and Preston are now going at it. Preston is maybe looking for an overtake, whilst Harry is also looking for an overtake on Ritvik. This could be a very close contended race between the 3 of them. Whilst Callum is away, and I tell you, he has gained P1 massively. Harry now has P2, Preston now has P3, and Ritvik drops down to P4. This is very interesting. Jamie's still in P6, however. Can he gain that pace? And now Preston. Oh, Preston nearly at P2, but Harry gains it back. We could have... Oh, Preston now gains P2 back. We have a P1, P2 for Williams. In fact, and we also have a +2 seconds between Callum and Preston. Can Preston gain that time back, or will this be a solid victory for Preston? Who knows? It seems to be that Callum is getting away, but do not underestimate Preston. However, Is there any other battles going on the pitch right now? On the track, shall I say? Not pitch, I'm too used to football, people. Here we go with Charlie. Can he catch up to Preston, or will this once again be a P1, P2 for Williams? Of course, it is the only second lap and lots can change. But this is very interesting right now. Very interesting indeed. Jamie gets P4, sorry. Harry drops down to P6 with Alonso in between. Where's Ritvik? I do not see Ritvik. Why do I not see Ritvik? Ritvik, oh, is down to P13. Now P14, in fact. Back to P13. He needs to gain that time back. P15 now, unlucky for Ritvik. But once the... Oh, his wing has come off. That is why. He has his full wing is off. I unfortunately did not see that, but now DRS is enabled, so this is where the race truly gets interesting. As you know, people, you need to get within 1 second of the car in front to get DRS, and then the overtake is yours. Here we go with Ritvik going into the pit. So is Giovinazzi behind him, who will get out before, hopefully Ritvik, but of course Giovinazzi does have a wing, so Ritvik will take longer. Back to the start of the track, we have Callum still up in P1, growing that gap between him and Preston, with now a 2.6 gap. So really... I mean, Callum's done well so far to keep P1, to be fair. Now we also have Charlie in P3 and Harry in P4. Jamie's still unfortunately in P6, but that does not mean he can't gain back time. Here we go. Has anybody got any overtakes? Ritvik also has a time penalty now. I think it may be from a pit lane, if I'm sure, but I'm not sure how much time it is. Should we find that out? I'm not sure exactly. There you can see who's on track. Give me 1 second. Penalties. A 5-second penalty for Ritvik here. Unfortunate. He needs to gain that time back. He needs to get 5 seconds ahead. Because as we know, even if you're P8... if there's, let's say, a safety car, and they're all within 1 second of you, you're dropping down quite far. Maybe even to P20, in fact. That is unfortunate for Ritvik, but he could keep us together. Who knows, who knows. Here we go with Callum. Now with a +4 second gap, in fact. This is amazing. This is actually unexpected from Callum, to be fair. But Preston also owns P2 with a +3 gap, if I'm reading that right, which I should be. But yes, this actually, I mean, of course, pit stops come into it. But right now, on lap 4, this is looking like a P1, P2 for Williams and a P3, P4 for Red Bull. So, very interesting. Lots of points there, potentially, for the Constructors' title. But as we know, anything can happen. This is only the first race of the season and the 4th lap in the first race. So, anything can happen within this season. Anything can happen within this race, in fact. Mazepin has now DNF'd. I'm not sure why, but can we get some details maybe on that? I don't think so, unfortunately. Maybe at the end of a race we can. We'll find out what happened. Now a +4 gap. There's also a +4 gap. This is really growing. It's showing the skill of the driver, unfortunately. What we got here with Harry. Harry really needs to get up to some speed. He knows he does. But can he do it? Can he really do it? Who knows? Who knows? We're going to ride with Harry for a bit now and see what happens. Harry into sector 1. Seems to be a good time so far. 14 seconds now growing. Can he keep that going? Or not? That's the question. Here we go with Callum riding on board. The time is shortening between him and Preston. It's now down to a 3 second. Between 4 seconds, I can't speak for some reason. But, you know, that is still there. Fastest lap for Ritvik, though, on softs. I do need to bring that up, however. Tyre here, we have, of course, Ritvik gone back on softs. Is that a wise decision? I don't know. you know, to be fair. Yes, it was, you know, it's only not many laps into it, but maybe he should have gone mediums and then gone softs later, but who knows? Maybe it'll pay off in the end, maybe it won't. We do see now, though, Ritvic in P18. Very interesting indeed. No one seems... Oh, actually, Harry seems to be growing on Charlie here. And as we know, he could... I think he's got DRS on him because he's within 1 second. And he doesn't... Oh, he's gone into the turbo, so he could have had it. Can we see an overtake from Harry here? Charlie has gone into the pits, however. No wing perhaps, or what? I do not see damage right now. Is it a tyre change, or is it a wing change, or... No, it is a tyre change. He has gone on to softs. That is weird. Can Ritvic come back and get that? Where is Charlie going to come out from? Can Ritvic overtake? Probably not. But Ritvic won't be far behind. He now looks to be coming out at P15. Perhaps even lower than that. P17. And can Ritvic ever so closely get that overtake? Ritvic can't. There's still that 37 second gap between them. Ritvic is also in the pits now, serving a 5-second penalty. Switching on to mediums. Not sure what's going on with Ritvic here, but Piz is going for... And we have... Oh, we have a safety car. That's probably why what's happened to Ritvic. Very interesting. That's not going to be good for Callum, though, because Callum with his 4-second gap here, and now everyone's going to catch up easily. So he is in danger here. He needs a good start to get ahead. But we have Harry in P3 now, Alonso in P4. Could we see potentially Alonso get the overtake on Harry, or will Harry keep that position? We have now Callum going into the pits. Is that a wise decision? I mean, on the safety car, yes, perhaps, but it's only a 4-second gap. Preston, I believe, also going into the pits, and Harry as well. Harry was going to go into the pits, but swerved and decided not to. Fair enough, fair enough. That's quite good by Harry. Probably, I don't know, a 6th lap soft. He will have to pit soon, I believe. But could it have been a wise decision? Who knows? You just have to wait, won't you? We have now Alonso in 2nd. Callum has made it out in 3rd. And Preston now in P7. Ritvic in P19. Charlie in P17. And Jamie dropping back to P12 now. P13. He's also pitted as well for mediums. We now have Preston with a penalty. We have Sonoda with a penalty. Very interesting. Should we check out what the penalty is? A 5-second penalty for Preston here. Another 5-second penalty for Ritvic. Very unlucky. And 5-second penalty for Charlie here. Lots of penalties going up here. Lots of penalties indeed. Who knows though? Could it affect the race? We have the safety car here with Harry in front. Harry really needs to race off. But of course he is on his old softs. And Callum is on new mediums. Being in P3 for Callum. Can he get that overtake? Callum now, as you can see, warming up his tyres. Making sure they don't go cold, because you need to keep them warm if you want a good start. But is that impossible on the safety car? Perhaps. Perhaps. We now have Ritvic potentially closing in on Charlie, in fact. Safety car, of course, he will be, but can Ritvic make up those positions, or will he stay at the back, unfortunately? What we got here, Preston in P6, very interesting. He may be looking for a good start as well. Can Williams get the P1 and P2 again, or will they fail to do so? I'm hoping for some real competition here. I really am, but who knows? Who knows indeed. We have now Harry dropping back. I think he's pitted and got a 5-second penalty, unfortunately. Callum now in P2. This could be really good for Callum. Alonso has not pitted yet, so he's still on softs. Callum on new mediums, of course. A lap hold, if I believe. So Alonso, big risk here. But also Callum also has like the likes of Norris, Ocon and Preston even behind him. So who knows? It's anyone's games here. But let's see if Alonso can get away fast enough, or will Callum get DRS and get overtake him. That's the unfortunate thing I think about being P1 is the fact that everyone besides you is getting DRS. So everyone can overtake you until you get DRS, which won't be for a little bit. So Alonso being on old softs and not getting DRS is two weaknesses against Callum, who is on new mediums and can get DRS. I believe that we'll be seeing Callum as P1, but who knows. Here we are with Harry, in fact, in P16, Ritvik now in P17, and Charlie in P18. They each have 5-second penalties, so this ain't looking too good for them. This may be due to the pits. I'm not sure exactly why, but I suspect it is because they all got it around exiting the pits. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. Preston now up to P5, in fact. Still trying to keep his tyres warm. Will we see the safety car go in anytime soon, or will it not? Hopefully it will be, because we want to get back to racing, and very soon. Callum still, still got P2. No one being told to overtake him, of course, which is very good indeed. What we got here? Tyres, yep, everyone except Charlie seems to be on mediums. Why is Charlie gone on to hards? That's not. I don't think that's a very good decision, but however, it could be. Safety car is now gone in. Callum on the attack on Alonso, gets P1 on the first corner. Here we go. Alonso tries to get it back, but he can't, and Callum steals it. Preston up to P3. Can Preston overtake Alonso? And Preston does. This can now be a battle between two Williams. What will happen? I wonder, because they're both on new mediums. They're both going strong. We now have also Rivik up to P11 with Jamie in P12. We have Charlie in P16, and Harry has DNF'd. Why did Harry DNF? What happened here? That doesn't make sense. I need to look back on what happened. I will be doing that after race and see if any penalties need to be inflicted for the next race, because that would be very interesting to see, and I will give you updates, of course, on what happened. Here we go with Callum going around on P1, getting that gap, 3 second, up to a 3 second gap now. So Preston, of course, is not able to get DRS. Can Preston gain that time back? However, Preston has a penalty, Callum does not. So that's going to be very interesting when it comes into play. Right now, I believe Preston will be dropping down quite far, unfortunately. Alonso now pits finally after 9 laps on softs. So finally he's pitting. I believe through details it's actually said there may have been a collision or something between Jamie and Harry, which caused Harry to DNF. As I said, I will be looking into that later, so it'd be very interesting to see. But here we go with Callum now. Still with that 4.4 second gap. Very interesting indeed. Again, could be seeing a P1, P2 for Williams here. It's not out of question. We've got 19 laps left of this race. We have Charlie in P13, Jamie and Ritvik in P11, P10. So really the only team getting points here is Williams if it stays like this. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Apparently, through details I've just received, Harry flew straight into the back of Vettel, and that's what happened. So, you know, it's very interesting indeed. I'm just seeing the conversation now between our drivers. It's very interesting indeed, very funny. Jamie says his internet dropped as soon as the race started. Very interesting. Which means Jamie is not actually in this race. Give me a minute. Here we go with Callum now with a +7 second gap between him and Preston. This is still looking likely for a P1 P2 Williams, but it could happen. Charlie, I didn't notice, but Charlie's also being DNF'd. So that's 2 Red Bulls out the race. That's not good in terms of the constructors title. So that's going to be very interesting indeed. We have, of course, the Mercedes P10 and P11. Here we go with Jamie up to P9 now. Can he gain some time on Mick Schumacher? Very interesting indeed. Very interesting. It's funny watching our drivers talk after they've been DNF'd and seeing how annoyed they get at being DNF'd. Callum driving very well though, with a +12 second gap, nearly up to a +13 second gap. I am very impressed. Oh, Preston also has a broken wing, if I've just received news about. Will he pit or will he not? That is a question. I'm surprised that Preston has been able to keep this, because there is a +8 second. Ocon could go for the overtake here, but it doesn't look likely. Who knows though? Who knows? Where's Jamie P8? Doing alright, I believe. Not too bad, to be fair. Could he gain back some positions? He has, to be fair. Ritvik P11 now. I mean, he really needs to start gaining back some positions, I think. I wonder about fuel as well. Will fuel come into it or not, you know? Very interesting. We're not seeing any overtakes right now, unfortunately, but hopefully we will soon. Should we look to some of the AI instead and see if they can overtake, or... I'm hoping for Preston. Will Preston pit and get his wing repaired? He's not looking to do it right now, which is very weird, but, I mean... if he goes to pits, he'll probably have to serve that 5-second penalty, which will be very unlucky for him, very unlucky indeed. But it looks to be fine right now. He's got a 1-second gap between him and Ocon, so he isn't under threat at all. If he keeps this going, pits when he needs to pits and everything, it could look really, you know, Williams could be looking at P1, P2. but who knows, indeed. We also have Ritvic now in P11 still. Jamie's still in P8. Very interesting indeed. How's Callum doing? Callum is very up in front with a 15-second gap. Very good driving from Callum today. We have a virtual safety car here, though. I believe because Raikkonen has been caught out. Ritvic has been given a 5-second bounty for speeding in the pit lane. That is very unlucky indeed. Very unlucky. He's now down to P14. But yes. I believe Team Radio has just invited me. But they're both DNF, so I'm not sure if I'll go into it because I don't want to face the wrath, shall we say. Here we go with Callum, still in P1. Ritvic out the pit lane now in P14. Jamie, however, massive improvement after loads of pit stops are hard, is now in P4. Can he get the P3? Can he do it after this whole race of being behind? Can he get the podium alongside Callum and possibly Preston? I don't know. I believe the gap may be closing. He actually may be catching up to Norris. And if Norris pits first, and he needs to, because Norris is 13 laps old mediums, Jamie will have P3. So, who knows? It'll be very interesting to see. Very interesting indeed. We do have 5 people DNF'd, including the Red Bulls. So, not too good indeed. But hopefully they can do better next race. That is for sure. Here we go with Jamie, though, in P3. He has overtaken Norris. He is now in P3. Our podium is looking to be Callum, Preston and Jamie on lap 15. Jamie now with a plus, I believe, 12 seconds, which is very interesting. But who knows? Is he closing the gap? I don't know between him and Preston. Could he, in fact? Because Preston has that broken wing. He's vulnerable, and it's only lap 15 out of 29 laps. That's still 14 laps to go. So very interesting indeed. Could happen if Jamie races the right way. But it doesn't seem time is going down though for Preston, because Preston is keeping it up. Even with his damaged wing, he is still racing. Or does he still have a damaged wing? I'm not sure, but that's what I've heard. He hasn't pit ejected. He's still on 7 lap mediums, so I believe he does still have that damaged wing. Callum still on 17 seconds. This guy is madness. I did not expect this from him. I thought. I'm just very shocked right now. Callum is racing very brilliant right now. In fact, very good from Callum. And he's not under threat at all. He can keep going all race. Honestly, all race. No matter what. Jamie now is still in P3. Preston's still in P2. That gap is still ever so closing between Preston and Jamie, I believe. So, I believe it's a 6-second gap mode between Jamie and Preston. So, I mean, that gap could close down. Ritvic with the fastest lap of the race. But as you know, the fastest lap points don't come into effect if you're not in a point position, if not above P10. So Ritvic really needs to work on getting up there a bit more. We need to see him in the top 10. Can he do it though? That is the question, because Ritvic has been very unlucky in this race. Pitted about 3 times now, I believe. Probably shouldn't have, because there's still about 13 laps to go, but who knows. Ritvic now into sector 2. Still looking to overtake on Daniel Ricciardo, getting closer and closer. Can he do it? Can he get that overtake in time? Who knows? Here we go now with Jamie closing that gap, and now a +5 gap between him and Preston. It seems to be closing ever so quickly. and there is enough time, I believe, for that gap to be closed. So it will be very interesting to see if Jamie can get that P2 and steal the P1, P2 from Williams. Hopefully we can see some competition. But now Ritвik gets P13, in fact, and overtakes Ricciardo, looking to overtake Sebastian Vettel as well. Can he do it? I mean, Vettel is on 5-lap-old softs, quicker tyres yet more wear on them, definitely, as Ritвik has the newer mediums, of course. Can he get that overtake on Vettel? But Vettel looking to overtake on Schumacher. Very unlucky not to. But can he get it? And he has. Vettel has. No, he did have the overtake, but Schumacher's taking it back. Very interesting. I believe Ritvik's going to try and go for that overtake now. So, you know, he's closing that gap ever so quickly. He has 2 cars to get past. Can he do it? He's looking for it. He's really going for it now. He's really attacking. But this is wearing his tyres out. He's got past Vettel. Can he make it past Schumacher? This is a fight for everything. And he has. He's made it up to P11. He will now be going after Lance Stroll, who is actually, I believe it's 11 seconds between Stroll and Ritвik. So, very interesting. Can he make up that time? Even if, I mean, Stroll is P10, and then there's not big of a gap between Stroll and Norris. If he can overtake Stroll, I believe he will be getting lots of positions up there. But now we're seeing Jamie and Preston and Alonso pitting. I believe Preston now down to P5, Jamie down to P4, Preston down to P8, Jamie down to P7, Callum still leading in P1, in fact. Preston now down to P9, going on to new mediums. Jamie now on to new softs, and he's been, no, not new softs. Did he pit? I don't know. I don't think he pitted. No, I think he had I think he just had to drive through it or something. But now Ritвik looking to attack Jamie. Will they work together, or will Jamie looks to be letting Ritвik pass? Is this a tactical thing, or will Jamie go after him? I believe this may be tactical. Are Williams working together and letting Ritвik pass? Ritвik looks to be going wide a lot here. Could we be seeing a friendly battle between Mercedes, or has Jamie? It did look like Jamie just let him pass, so that's very interesting. Preston now P8. Can Ritвik catch up to Preston, or will Preston, you know, just keep getting positions on Stroll? He looks to be overtaken, or trying to overtake on Stroll. Can he get the position? He can't on that corner. Unfortunately, he's going for it again, and he's overtaken Stroll here. P7 now. He sees Sainz in his view, and also Leclerc, the 2 Ferraris. Very interesting. Closing in on them right now, in fact. Can he get it? Can he do it? Who knows? We're about to find out. And has he got it? Has he got it? And he may, he's unlucky not to be. He's trying again on the corner. Has he got Leclerc? He's got Leclerc. He's going for Sainz now. He sees his target and he knows what he's got to do. Meanwhile, there is a 48 gap between Ocon and Callum. Callum needs to pit. And even if he pits now, he won't be he won't be in any danger of losing his position at all. And here we go with Preston now looking to overtake on Sainz. Can he do it? And he's got the position P5 for Preston here. P1, of course, 10 positions back is Jamie in P15. Very unlucky. I'm not sure what happened. I believe Jamie's just pitted onto new mediums. We saw him spin out earlier, which was very unlucky indeed. We also have Ritвik in P9, which means he will be getting points if he can hold that position. Preston now closing in on Norris, looking for that position. I believe there's a 0.6 gap. He's closing in on it as we speak. Can he get it though? That is the question. And he's looking to get it. He's looking to overtake. He's finding this position. He's going on me outside. He's looking on the inside of the corner, and he's got it. Going into the corner, he has achieved P4. Looking now to catch up to Pierre Gasly. Can he do it, or can he not? That is the question. Here we go with Callum still got a plus 50-second gap. But a 12 lap old mediums, there is only so long he can keep this gap going. I mean, Preston now racking up the time. Will he catch up to Callum, or is this a tactical thing they've got right now? You know, to basically keep the positions, try and get P1, P2. That's the question. I mean, Callum, as we are speaking about 50-second gap, I don't think anyone will overtake him with, 8 laps left of this race at Bahrain. I think this, as we said before, could be a P1, P2 for Williams if Preston can catch up. But there is a 0.7 gap now. No, a 1.7, sorry, I'm reading it wrong. 1.5 gap, and it is lowering by the second. Preston is really going for P3. He is looking for that position. He wants it. He's hunting Gasly. Can he get it, though? Will he get this position, or will he not? That's the question here. He's slowing down on the corner. He sees Gasly in his sights. He also sees Ocon just past that. Can he get it now? We're about to find out. Can he get it? Will he get the... And he has! Oh, he goes on the inside of the corner and he snatches a position from Gasly. He now has Ocon in his sights. However, on the other side of the track, Jamie has just overtaken Sebastian Vettel. There you can see him getting smaller and smaller as the time goes. As the gap grows between him and Jamie. But now, here we go with Preston. With a 0.2 gap between him and Ocon. Can he get the overtake he really wants and get the P1, P2 once again for Williams? Williams are looking very, very strong, I must say, in Bahrain. A very good start to the season, I believe. A very brilliant start to the season. Here we go now. Can Preston snatch the position he wants? Can he do it? He's looking on the corner. He goes on the outside, but he can't get it. He's now looking for the straight. He's going on the turning. He really wants it. He really... Going on the inside of the corner. Contact between him and Ocon. And he gets the position P1, P2 for Williams here at Bahrain. With only 7 laps to go. This is looking very much like a P1, P2. And of course, what we don't notice is now Callum has gone onto new softs. That will be very instrumental. However, what you don't notice is Preston is really knocking down that time. From 50 seconds to now 29 seconds. I believe it's because of the pit though. So Callum will be looking to gain back that time now. Can he do it though? Can he really achieve this here at Bahrain? Let's see. I mean, the gap is going between Preston and Ocon here. And then, of course, in another side of the track, we have Ritvick in P7. We have Jamie climbing ranks in P12. So, can Jamie get points for Williams? Can Jamie get points for Mercedes here at Bahrain? Or will he just come up short? We do have 7 more laps. So it's not impossible. He can do it, but he really needs to go on the attack now. He really needs to hunt Giovinazzi and Ricciardo, maybe even Schumacher in that as well. That is 3 seconds plus another 4 seconds plus probably another 1 second. So that's at least 8 seconds he's got to make up in 6 laps now. It's going to be very tough. But also here we do see that Ritvick has a 10-second penalty, and now that is going to be very tough because he's going to go down at least to P8. So not too far. Drop down to 1 position, I believe. Maybe more. but I'm not too sure. I believe, yeah, it'd be dropping down one position if Ritvic can keep that gap, unless he can grow it. But he does look to be growing it currently. 9 seconds now, 10 seconds, but he's pitting. Is that a wise decision? He's serving the 10-second penalty. He's serving it. Here, P10. He served some kind of penalty. He's now at P12. 5-second penalty left. P13, P14, P15, back to P15 for Ritvic, unfortunately. But that means Jamie is up to P11 and hunting Giovinazzi and Ricciardo here at Bahrain. We of course have the Williams still up on top. I do not know how this has happened. This is very interesting indeed. Callum with the fastest lap. That means there's going to be more points for Williams than just their positions, which is very interesting indeed. We just need to keep going now and see if Williams can get that P1, P2, but it's looking very likely with 5 laps left of the Bahrain Grand Prix. What we got here? We got Ritvic with 9-second gap though. Can he gain it back? I don't think so. With 8 seconds and 5 laps, he could if he's quick enough. But who knows? He is charting down the time now, but he's not doing it too quickly, unfortunately. He needs to do it, you know, if he wants to catch up, he really needs to big up that time, and soon. He's now down to an 8.1 second gap. And of course, Jamie up to P10 got the overtake on Giovinazzi here. And now a 2-second gap between him and Ricciardo. In fact, can he get that overtake on Ricciardo? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see, won't we? With now a 2-second gap. Is he closing in on him? Is he closing? He is. He looks to be with now a 2.8 gap. But we'll come back to Jamie in a minute to see if he gets that overtake. We're going to go back to the Williams here. Of course, P1, P2 once again with that 27 gap between Preston and between Callum P1 and Preston P2, and of course the 9-second gap, 10-second gap now between Preston and Ocon. Very interesting indeed. Ritvic looks to be closing in on that gap. He's now got 5-second gap. Jamie, however, has a 1-second gap now. Both Mercedes look to be overtaking very soon indeed. Jamie looks to be, unfortunately, the only Mercedes getting points. But that may not be true, because Ritvic, once he gets past Lance Stroll, could actually get a few other overtakes. It's just mainly Vettel and Giovinazzi and he's get by. But here comes Jamie on Ricciardo. He looks to get the overtake on the outside. Can he do it? Goes into the corner and he gets it. He goes into corner and he keeps the position. Ricciardo cannot gain back that position. And he now has P9 here at Bahrain. However, Ritvic going down to P15. 2-second gap now between Lance Stroll and him. Will we see that gap? But if we go back to Jamie, Ricciardo has got that position back, but Jamie is not giving up. Ritvic now has the fastest lap as well on softs, but Jamie is really looking for that position back. He really wants P9 back, and he goes into the corner. He looks for it, can't get it. Goes on the inside of the next corner, can't get it still, unfortunately. Goes on the outside and he gets the overtake. I believe there's a slight collision there between Ricciardo and Jamie, but Jamie comes through now, and Ricciardo is sent straight down to P13. Should we check in on what's happened on Ricciardo? Has he spun out? Also, I believe he spun out when the collision happened between him and Jamie. Very interesting indeed. Not worth a penalty there. I just think normal racing, you know, you're going to have contact. No penalty needed there at all. However, Ritvic up to P30 now. And he loses that P13 to Stroll, but he gains it back. And he's now hunting Leclerc here. You've still got 4 laps here at Bahrain. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Could gain that position back in time. Looks to be getting back that position on Leclerc, and he cut. Oh, could that be worth it? In kind of that slight corner, he tried to get that position back on Leclerc, but he couldn't. Not a penalty though for corner cutting, because I don't believe it was big enough of a corner cut to give a penalty. But he's looking for that position on Leclerc. Can he get it? He's also looking for it on Vettel, and he gets it. All he needs, actually, he gets it. He's away. All he needs to do now is hunt Giovinazzi. He gets Giovinazzi, and he's got points. He needs to hunt. Now, however, up to P8 we have Jamie, who was just recently overtaken Schumacher and is now looking to maybe overtake Alonso if he can catch up in time. Or will Schumacher ruin his dreams and catch up to him? That time doesn't look to be going up, but however on corners Jamie does gain quite a bit of time on him, and that time does go up. Alonso, also gaining that bit of time. But Jamie does look to be getting that time back. Now up to a 5.2 second gap between him and Alonso. Here we go with Ritvik back to P11. 1.2 gap between him and Giovinazzi. Very interesting indeed. Preston and Callum still have a 32 second gap. We are looking, I believe, I can say this completely now, with a P1, P2 for Williams. And whilst that's going on, we have Ritvik hunting Giovinazzi, looking for P10. Has he got it? And he has. He's got on the inside. A little bit of contact there. But no matter, he has got P10. Will he be able to hunt Schumacher with the 2 laps left and gain more time? But either way, he has got points now. He is in P10 and he has got minimum points at least. But that's still points. That's more points than Red Bull have got this race. So Williams will be ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors' title. Very interesting indeed. Now onto the last lap of the race. Looks like Callum is really going for it and looking for that race. However, a blue flag has come up. That is Daniel Ricciardo right there. He looks to be overtaking on Ricciardo. Can he get that overtake? I mean, Ricciardo has to let him pass either way. And Ricciardo has let him pass due to the blue flag rule. And he now has lapped Ricciardo, which means Ricciardo does not have to complete the final lap of the race. What Callum does, of course, have 2 more laps left. Very interesting indeed here at Bahrain. Here we go with Ritvik still hunting Schumacher now with a 0.8 second gap, 0.7. He's got DRS, or he's about to get it, I believe. He is on 0.1 second. He's going for the overtake, goes on the inside of Schumacher, goes into the corner. Can he get it? Can he get it on this corner? And I believe he does. He gets it. Now we see a P8, P9 with Mercedes. That is once again, more points than Red Bull today. Unlucky Red Bull for you too, Charlie and Harry. Here we go, though. This is very good. Will we see a slight little battle between Jamie and Ritvik? I don't know, because there is only 2 laps left, and right now Jamie is growing that gap, but Jamie is hunting Alonso. That is not out of the question. Ritvik, however, gets a 5-second penalty. That will send him back quite far. In fact, that will send him back to at least P11. That sends him out of the points range, unfortunately, I believe. That's not good for Mercedes at all. That is very unlucky. We'll have to look at a race director after this just to check what incidents happened, what took place. However, should we go to P1, it is the last lap of a race, and Callum is leading with a 36 second gap. And here we go with Williams hunting that finish line, going around at least a second corner here, on nearly onto the 3rd sector, halfway through the 2nd sector with a 55 second. And can he get fastest lap or not? He'll be looking maybe to get it. I think he's going full out for this last lap. Callum really has done well this race. Now into sector 3, plus 1.3 seconds into sector 2. Unfortunately, you probably won't get fastest lap, but will get P1 in fact here at Bahrain Grand Prix. Looking at the final corner now, turning in onto the final corner. And ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner of the Grand Prix, Bahrain Grand Prix, Callum from Mercedes. Here we go. And here we go with Preston now hunting P2. Can he get it in time? We'll see I'm sure he will, of course. We have 2 minutes left on the clock. Well, 3 minutes until, and counting down, until the race fully ends. Can the Mercedes finish? Riving now up to P9 and has a 6-second gap, which means he will keep that position. He will keep P9. Which is very interesting indeed, which is actually very good. Jamie, however, up to P7. Can they finish in time? I believe they can. Preston now has finished P2. Well done to Mercedes here at Bahrain Grand Prix for a P1, P2 finish. That is maximum points for Williams here today, and a very good start to the season. Can they carry it on, or will they be challenged by Red Bull next race? Who knows, indeed. But here we go with Jamie and Ritvic finishing it up. Jamie looks across the line, and he has, and it's only Ritvic left here with a 5-second gap. He hasn't got it, and I believe he sent down a gap. Unfortunately, very unfortunately indeed, an achievement a lot, because I'm the greatest in the world, greatest commentator. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. It has been lovely to see you all. Driver of the day goes to Carlos Sainz. What a great drive it was. And here we go with the podium, seeing both Williams and, of course, Pierre Gasly third, Preston second, and here we go with Callum as P1. What a great drive by Williams today here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Thank you all for joining us today, and hopefully we'll be able to see another spectacular race at the Jeddah Grand Prix for next weekend. But yes, I will see you all next weekend. Thank you for joining here. See you all next week.